So let's talk about the All-Star weekend. And one of the things which stood out the most was Draymond Green's opinion on the new All-Star format. In case you didn't know, what they decided this year is to have a four-team tournament where they have the Rising Stars face each other on Friday, and the winner of that game plays one of the All-Star teams on Sunday. And they have a collection of four teams. They batter out game to 40. And then when they get to the finals, they play to 40 as well. Well, Draymond, in his opinion, thinks it's a bad idea because you're giving the young rising stars an opportunity they didn't really work for. And I get all that. I understand that you have to earn your stripes, that you have to get better as a basketball player, that you have to eventually get to a point where you're recognized as an all-star player. But on the other side of this, why are we in this situation? Well, the main reason is the players who go out there every single year during the all-star break, they don't show any type of competitiveness, no sense of pride. They just jack up threes. They don't play any type of defense. And the game is just unwatchable. So, what the NBA decided to do was okay, if you don't want to show any type of effort, not compete, then we are going to bring in rising stars who are rookies, and you're going to face them in this type of format. Now, what's funny is Steph Curry was actually trying to find new ways to bring interest to the All Star game. He liked the format, which is so funny to me that Draymond and Steph are on opposite spectrums. This is just an indictment on the NBA players. And if you're going to whine and complain and say, well, the game was a zero, and talk about, well, you know what? This isn't good for the NBA. This is ridiculous. Bring your own ideas because Steph Curry approves of it. Other players thought it was a good idea. It brought a competitive edge. I enjoyed some of it. I didn't like all the commercials that were going on. I thought the long waits, where I understand you want to give a proper send off to Chuck, Kenny, Ernie Johnson, and Shaq, but it was just so dragged out. And that was one of the problems I had with the game. But at the same time, it was competitive when I was watching them play basketball. It wasn't like some game seven feeling, but it felt like these guys were actually trying to an extent, which I appreciated. And that's why they changed things up. So if you're Draymond Green, whining, complaining, talking about, oh, this is terrible for the NBA, bring your own solutions. We can talk about what's wrong with the NBA all day long. But if we don't have solutions to the problem, we're just wasting time and we're just going through the same cycle over and over again. If you want change, you got to go out and do something about it. I understand there's a lot of three-pointers being taken. Well, how can we fix that? What are some solutions that we can bring to the table? I get you don't like the product. Okay, cool. What can we do to change it? You see, when it comes to the rating decline, why is that happening? What can we do to fix it to draw interest into the product? You see, we can go on and on about, oh, there's too many threes and not enough dunks and layups, no more mid-range game. It seems like the game has changed. Awesome. Okay. I understand that you're upset. What is your solution to the problem? Because if you don't have a solution, then what are we doing here? We're not accomplishing anything. So when it comes to Draymond, I get like you're frustrated that Rising Stars are playing Sunday night. But at the same time, the reason why they're in that position to begin with was because the players from the past All-Star games did not give enough effort. Now I want to play the clip from Draymond Green, and I'll give you more of my thoughts.
Candace goes, I'm coaching some team. And she's right. Some team that no one wants to see.
Oh, man.
I had to work so hard to play on Sunday night of All-Star Weekend. And because ratings are down, because the game's bad, we're bringing in Rising Stars. That's not a fix. I never played in the Rising Stars game. My first 2 years, I didn't touch that game. And these guys get to touch the All-Star floor? On Sunday night? Like when the floor is the floor? You know, in America, the president has Air Force One, right?
Yeah.
They have several of those planes. It's only Air Force One if the president's on it. That's the All-Star floor. You have the court, you have the events. It's a nice looking court. When the All-Stars are on the court, now it's the All-Star court. Those guys did not make the All-Star team. To be playing in the All-Star game and you did not make the All-Star team is absurd.
So as you heard from Draymond, he's not pleased with what's going on. I find it hilarious and ironic that he started in the podcast business and he was saying that, well, we are the new media. We're going to do things differently than what the mainstream media does in sports. But when you're on TNT, you are criticizing the NBA commissioner for putting out something new to help the product, and you're complaining about it. I find that very funny. The same energy that you get from a Charles Barkley, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, or Ernie Johnson, where they're complaining about what they're seeing, but you don't want to fix it. I find that very hilarious that you're kind of doing the same thing, Draymond Green. Now, again, I understand that rising stars should earn their stripes. However, what is the commissioner supposed to do? Just sit back and let this go on and on. Eventually, fans are going to tune out, and it's going to come to a point we just scratch the All-Star weekend altogether. That might still happen at some point because, to be honest, we're still not at a point where things are getting better or things are progressing, especially if the ratings don't improve. We have to see that get better. We have to see, players not sit out games and load manage. I mean, last night, we'll talk about this in another video. Anthony Edwards didn't play. LeBron James decided last minute not to play. I'm like, you guys decided to be in the All-Star game. There are paying customers who want to see you guys play basketball, and you didn't play even for like 2 or 3 minutes. That's inexcusable to me, and that's part of the problem and why people are tuning out from games. So, Draymond, you're right about, players needing to earn their stripes and, not just giving a free pass. It's not like they're giving a free pass. They have to win their game on Friday night. But at the end of the day, part of the problem is the players. That's why they're in this position. So if you want to get out of this situation, be like Steph Curry. Get involved. Maybe you are. I don't know if he is or not. But Steph Curry got involved and tried to bring new ideas to the table. And this is what the result they got from those conversations. So if you want to move in a position where you don't like it, talk to the commissioner. See what happens. Engage in conversations because we can complain all day long. But if there's no solutions, then we're just wasting time here. So, yeah, I mean, I get where Draymond's coming from. I'm not against you saying that the rising stars shouldn't just be given a Sunday night event because they're not actually all-star players. But at the end of the day, if I have to change up things and make it more competitive as a business owner and somebody who's the commissioner of the NBA who has to care about the revenue of the league, I need to consider all changes because if it's going to help grow the league, bring more interest, you got to do what you got to do. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what Draymond Green had to say. Do you agree or disagree? What are your thoughts on the All-Star weekend? What changes should they implement to make things more interesting? Or do you like it the way it is? Hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.